Hello and welcome to Seagulls Social, Season 2, Episode 16. I'm your host, Maz, and of course I'm joined by COVID Kid Ryan and Benjamin.
Parking Ticket Ben.
Parking Ticket Ben.
Ryan, how are you, mate? You feeling a little bit better? Obviously, for anyone who doesn't know, you've unfortunately contracted the virus.
Yeah.
The virus.
You finally caught gonorrhea.
Got COVID, which is great, but I don't know. I was all right. I think the last couple of days have probably been a bit worse. I'd say it's all right if you haven't had it before. I'd say it's all right apart from you get this like pain in your chest, which really hurts. But other than that,
it's called heartbreak.
That sort of affects your breathing. But other than that, I'm all right. I might be a bit like that, but it is what it is. Get a bit breathless when you talk.
Welcome to Asthma Club.
Yeah, it's not fun for anyone who's not had it. It's not fun. That week
it's a bit of a nasty virus. Take it seriously, lads. Take it seriously. Yeah.
Exactly.
But not too seriously. And then really seriously, but not too seriously. But don't go outside. But you can go to the pub though. But as long as there's
don't go to work in case you can go to work.
Yeah.
But do go to work. If you can't, then don't. But if you can, then do it. But if you, I don't think you should.
Don't go to work.
I also definitely go to the gym, but also don't. I went to the gym and I got a parking ticket. Hey, and I got it right. And it's been sent to me 16 days after the actual offence. And if you pay it within 14 days of the offence, you get to pay. I only have to pay £60.
Yeah.
But because it's come so late, I have to pay £100. I'm fucking.
Why don't you just? Yeah,
that came this morning. I am going to appeal it and see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway, enough of our lives. We're going to have to unfortunately discuss Brighton, which is something we've tried to watch for the last 2 minutes and 20 seconds. However, we do have to talk about it. Of course, Wolves at home. A disappointing result. Now, what is it? No wins in 11, is it? Or no? Yeah, no.
11.
Fun fact.
11 games.
Such a nice number as well.
What
a shame.
Since me and Chloe got together in October, we haven't won. Just saying.
Fuck.
So decisions may need to be made.
Chloe out.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have that sign? Shouldn't have said Potter out. Should have said Chloe out.
Hashtag Chloe out. Yeah. So since September, we haven't won a game, lads. I mean, we don't want to be bleak on this pod because we're quite.
Can we get that in the comments? Hashtag Chloe out in the comments, please.
Hashtag Chloe out. Get a goal.
But you know, boys, we're usually a very positive podcast. However, I think today maybe we have to ask a few hard questions because we're not Potter out. We're not those brigade because we're not. We've actually got some brain cells. But I suppose to be fair, when any manager you put any manager in this position of 11 games without a win, they're going to be under scrutiny, right?
Right, yeah.
I think that's fair to say.
Watford would have gone through 3 managers by now if that was 11
It's true.
Exactly. So, I mean, I suppose first question, just to kick us off then, the Boo Boys, are they, I'm playing devil's advocate here because obviously I'm not in the Boo Boys camp, but are some of the Boo Boys now sort of maybe being vilified or are they being justified for their actions? I'm not saying they are, but that's a question to you two. Do you think now
I didn't hear any boos last night, but I'm
talking about the Boo Boys at Leeds. I'm talking about like when they booed at Leeds.
Oh right, yeah. No, still not. I think Potter's done so well for us, and the team have done so well this season. It's kind of just coming back down to where we probably should be. I think Adam Virgo said it brilliantly. It's like we've had such a good start to the season. It was unbelievable what we've done. It's kind of about time. That wasn't going to last forever, really, was it? So. But yeah, sorry, answering your actual question, no, I still don't think they're justified, the boos at all. Or the Potter out. I still think, we're just going through a sticky situation, injuries and that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, even over the last sort of, however long it's been, a couple of months, we've had injury after injury. And now we've got COVID cases and everything. I think 14 cases, 14 different things, actually, I think it was. 14 players were out for us last night. So I don't know, it is hard because... taking Mope out of the team as well. He's been on form, and we all know how much he does for the team, especially going forward. Missing him, obviously we had Aaron Connolly up front. He wasn't very effective. Sort of come off. We just don't have anyone else, and that's our trouble. We literally had no other attackers to put on there. Evan Ferguson, I'd like to see him make an appearance, but
would it be unfair to put him in straight away?
But then I can you can sort of see the reasonable atmosphere of it, like the reasonable reasoning for it. Like he is 17 years old. To chuck him in and hope for him to score is a bit much, maybe.
But I feel like though, with that, Ryan. Well, with the Evan Ferguson thing, for example, because I personally was not frustrated, but I was just a bit disappointed not to see Evan Ferguson. And for example, Roberts at the back, like I would have loved to have seen Roberts play.
I think he had COVID though, didn't he? Isn't he one of the ones
he was
that
on the
got
bench
COVID?
though, wasn't he?
No, he was on the bench.
Oh,
Yeah,
was
he was
he?
on the bench.
Oh,
Yeah,
God,
yeah.
I thought maybe I read that wrong.
Yeah,
You've got
because
COVID, right? Remember?
COVID brain. No, but like, for example, I would have if Roberts was fully fit, I would have liked to have seen him start. I'm not saying Evan Ferguson should have started. However, when Connolly was obviously having a poor game, and you look to someone to come in and as an out and out striker, why not just chuck him on? Like, we're losing 1-0 at the time. Like, what's the like? I know I say what's the harm, but it's like, why not just in this game? It's the perfect opportunity with loads of people out. Just give that person a chance. And if he's shit, like you said, Ryan, last week, if they're crap, we don't expect them to be amazing. Like they're young, we're not going to give him a hard time for. We're not going to give him a hard time. Like, he was terrible. Like, it was his first game, like, on the big stage, and it's like, just give him a shot.
I was so
If he comes
disappointed.
good,
Yeah, no.
When I saw Connolly coming off, and then the camera pans to the people coming on, I saw Richards and Lallana. I was like, fuck's sake, like, we literally had no strikers on the pitch. At one point, we had Moda playing left wing, Mwepu right wing, and Trossard up front. I was like, how are we going to score a goal with any of those? I mean, Trossard, yeah, brilliant, but Moda and Mwepu aren't strikers or attackers, really. They're not the people that we should be having in those advanced
Mwepu was
positions.
such a frustrating one last night because he obviously had the awful misses, but I thought he was actually.
God,
I thought he
Jesus
played all
Christ.
right overall.
Yeah,
And
he
it was
did.
really annoying because he overshadowed his decent performance with two dreadful attempts at goal. I don't even know what they were.
I thought first half he was much better than the second. I felt like second half he wasn't great. First half he was good. I can't complain. But I thought Moda as well. Like, Moda didn't have his best game.
Moda was poor,
he was poor.
Yeah.
But also as well, why was Moda on set pieces when he was set pieces was awful?
Yeah, he's so tall. He's too tall to not have in the box.
But he was terrible. Like, once he had his first two or three, like, they were poor, and then it's like, all right, let's take him off and stick him in the box. Like, why is he?
Well, he had one good delivery for the Mwepu chance, but then after that, it was pretty much downhill from then. And he kept trying. To be fair, the whole team just kept trying these like 1-2 flicks. That's never working. Our little flick-ons, and it was just never working. They were constantly getting intercepted or bad control.
For me personally, I think there was a real imbalance in the midfield for me. So obviously we had what was it, Moda, Bissouma, and Mwepu was like sort of like your three. As the three. And I just felt like it didn't work. It just I don't know.
Now, even at the back though was so out unbalanced. Like, I'm sorry to cut you off, but like when I saw the team sheet, I was like, I beg Moda's going to be centre back and it's a back five, because if they counter on us and we've got Veltman and Dan Burn playing centre back with Lamptey and Cucurella really advanced up forward, like, we're going to be fucked. And we saw that in the second half, like the beginning of the second half. Whenever they countered, it was literally Veltman and Dan Burn. Veltman falling over a couple of times. Dan Burn, to be fair to him, recovered quite well for a couple of them where we didn't concede. But we were there was no balance at the back. It was just always going to be like a dreadful, dreadful time when they were attacking us. I don't know I don't really know what the thinking was behind the back four.
No, I think as well, like, when you take out players like Webster, like Duncan, etc., we are looking so much weaker. I mean, we saw it against Southampton as well. We got away with it, really, at Southampton. But this time, like, Wolves could have easily been 2-3-4 up at some points in the game. I mean, they had so many good chances. And to be fair, that leads on to their goal. Their goal was a fantastic goal. You got to take your hat off to them and say that ball from Neves was just unbelievable. Yeah, the build-up, the Bissouma,
we only concede like shit goals like that, don't we?
Yeah,
we don't concede worldies. It's always down to a little mistake like that. And you think, what?
That was a stupid mistake, but I think what they did with it, I mean, they still had no right to sort of flick that over the old back line and volley it in. I mean, that was a great finish, to be fair. But I think Wolves overall were actually just very solid. I thought they looked very compact. They looked very composed. They didn't really. And many chances really looked like they were going to throw it away, to be honest. I think we had a couple of chances, but really, overall, we didn't do anything, to be honest. And I think that's just down to the lack of squad depth we've got. I mean, we've loaned half our squad out, haven't we, really? So, overall, what can we really expect when we've got some of our best next strikers out on loan?
It's the depth up front. I think we're fine in defence.
That's what I mean up front.
Yeah, sorry, yeah. The depth up front is horrendous, and we've talked about it so many times. Like, we're so desperate for another striker.
Well
back
that,
out.
Ben.
Connolly didn't do much. He was like had a couple balls over the top.
Mate,
one of them was like his touch was awful
poor,
and it went straight out. And you just think that's literally your bread and butter. That's what you're meant to be good at.
Mate, his head was still in shoosh, mate. He was not. He was not focused on that game. Like, mate, listen. Okay, one thing I would like to say about Connolly, right? It's like, this is your chance, mate. Like, everyone's injured or out with COVID. This is your chance to prove why. You've been out of the team for so long. You must. If he was really that passionate about the club and about his position, he'd be like, right, this is my game. This is it. I'm gonna show Potter what I'm all about. F Mopey, I'm gonna show him I'm the main man. But he was so poor. And okay, yeah, granted, it generally attacking wise we weren't great. Granted, and maybe didn't get the service that he should have sort of maybe deserved. Still though, like when he was on the ball, he stray passes.
Yeah,
he wasn't doing the basics right. At least do the basics right, and then you'll be like, okay, fair enough. He's done his job, kind of thing. But yeah,
that's why I always back Neil, because at least with Neil, like even if he misses an open goal, overall his game 9 times out of 10 is very good. Like he holds the ball up, he 100%. Creates chances and stuff, and I think that's what you want to. I know you're not going to see that from Connolly. He's not going to hold the ball up. He's not that sort of player. But you'd want to see him doing a little bit more than what he is. I mean, he makes the runs a little bit, but he's not strong enough to beat the man. And he's not clever enough to take it around him. So you just think to yourself, what is he actually going to offer in the Premier League? I don't really know. And to be honest, Ben, actually leading on to the point you made earlier about squad depth. Even defensively now, we're really looking bleak, I think, because, you think we've loaned out Ostergaard, we've loaned out Van Heck, we've loaned out etc. I mean, the amount of defenders we've got on loan right now is ridiculous. And that's left us with a position where...
Brian.
Yeah, the big one. But like we've got the likes of now Ed Turns, who I rated against Swansea, but Hayden Roberts as well. But we can't just be relying on these players. And we've got Ostergaard, for example, who's proven at Championship level that he's probably more than good enough to be playing there. Arguably, is Premier League ready. So I don't understand that bit. Why we'd get rid of players that are that good.
I don't think you should expect to lose 3 central defenders though. Like you got to remember, like
I get that.
So like if normally you'd have like 1 or max 2 that would be out. So I can't. You can't really prepare for having your 3 starting centre.
I just think
out at the same time.
I just think getting rid of one of the next best alternatives, I think, is my point. I think, if we got, get rid of Roberts maybe, giving him some more game time out on loan, or getting rid of, Van Heck makes sense as well, but Ostergaard I thought was ready to make that step up. Even for Duffy, I mean, at times Duffy's looked, a bit shaky. I thought maybe now's the time that Ostergaard gets his chance. I mean, because it was never just quickly, it was never unreasonable that Webster was going to get injured, because his injury track record is very bad. I mean, look, Lewis Dunk is a bit of a shock, to be fair, because he hasn't been injured for as long as I can remember. But Shane Duffy was always going to be a bit shaky. Veltman was starting to show a bit of shaky sides as well. So even tactically, we were looking a little bit bleak in the back, I think, even from the beginning of the season. And I think now we're starting to pay for that, I think.
No, I was just going to say, on just going back to, I know I keep sort of like blowing the Roberts horn, but like, again, like, for example, right, you look at the Wolves team yesterday, Maximilian Kilman, yeah? He was given his opportunity by, I think it was Nuno back in the day when he was there. He was like given his chance. I remember he just like chucked him in a random Premier League game and he came good. And it's like, for example, yesterday, why didn't I know I'm sort of just reverting back to what I said earlier, but why didn't he just chuck Roberts in today, like yesterday? Just like, look, this is your coming out, like this is your game, like grab it, grab the opportunity kind of thing. And like, why didn't you just give him that chance instead of playing Veltman and Burton? I know. Obviously, he's going over experience.
In fairness to Burton, he was actually all right as well.
No. I'm not saying they were shit or anything like that by any stretch. I'm not saying they were bad, but I feel like this could have been the opportunity. Like this, there was no better time with our squad basically depleted. There was no better time to chuck in a few of these young players and just like we said last week, just give them a go. And worst case, if they have a bad game, we're like, right,
we're always going to lose
anyway.
Last night, weren't we?
We lost anyway. So it's like, what does it matter, really? But Ben, I think you had something to say.
Yeah, well, touching on the centre-back depth, I think literally just before we start recording, Nat Phillips came out saying that he's open to leaving Liverpool in Jan. I know we were linked with him. We were linked with him pretty heavily in the summer, weren't we?
Athletic as well, so it's like proper links, wasn't it?
Yeah, so that would be a really, really good opportunity to take him. And I think if we don't, it will be a mistake because he's shown his class, and he hit that little Maldini turn that he done. Actually, gross turn to be fair. That at the San Siro quality. Yeah, he's composed like that clearly. So. Yeah, that will be if we don't get that.
We need another captain now, don't we? That's our trouble. We ain't got a captain now, at least for another 2-3 months. So we need another captain, and if we don't have one, I mean, Lallana is it sort of, but he's not Lewis Dunk. I think if we don't have that big man at the back that you can rely on time and time again, we are just going to keep losing games.
It makes sense to sign Nat Phillips, and if we don't, it's a stupid thing if we don't.
And also, this is a really, really random one, but I heard a stat yesterday. One of the commentators that I was watching on the stream, and she said that Brighton haven't scored more than 2 goals. So basically, she was like, "Look, if we'll score a second,
I don't like this already.
Brighton are in big trouble." Brighton are in big trouble because they haven't scored more than 2 goals in a game this season. And I was like, "Surely this can't be right." And I searched it up, and I was like, "We haven't scored." Yeah, we haven't
have.
scored more than 2. No, we haven't. We haven't.
Oh, more than
Cardiff,
2.
I
Sorry,
suppose.
more than 2. Right,
Yeah, we haven't scored more than 2. Yeah. We haven't scored more than 2 goals in the game, and I was just like, that's actually pretty mad. When you deep hit, that's bad, isn't it? Well, it's not bad.
Is
but
that
like,
just in the
it's
league?
not
I imagine.
great.
Was it? Oh,
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
Oh yeah, in league. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah,
Because I think
just-
we beat Cardiff.
Cardiff,
3
yeah.
or 3.
Yeah, 3-2.
Yeah.
3-2, yeah.
3-1.
Or whatever it was, yeah. 3-1. Yeah.
Can't remember.
But yeah, so like I think it just shows our like our goal scoring abilities. Like we can score. It's not like we can't score, but like we just don't score enough. And I suppose that's just our. I think that's
well,
evident to see.
even that, I don't think we've. What is it since September? We've only scored a real handful of goals, haven't we? I mean, you look on our last few games, been sort of 1-0 every week, or we're never really dominant in games, are we anymore? I mean, last season we were saying. I'm not saying about Potter out, but last season we were saying that at least we were playing really, really good football. And every week we were always like in that touching distance of a result sort of thing. That's what we always went by. Whereas this season we're not really. And I think, to be honest, we've probably overperformed in most of our games. I think we mentioned this like a couple of weeks. So I think, where do we go from this? I know we've got a lot of players out, but I think I thought at the beginning of the season that we were weaker going into the personnel wise. I thought we're weaker going into the season, but I think now we need to spend in January. I mean, we haven't really got much of a choice, because I think if we go the whole way through next year with the team we've got now, I think we're gonna struggle. I think, to be honest, because I don't think we'll get relegated, but at the moment we're probably one of the worst teams.
I was just about to say, this is the first time we've actually probably spoken about relegation this season. What, we're 9 points off relegation? No, but we're 9 points off it now. That's 3.
The trouble I've got is like believing that we can play like we did last season, because at the moment I can't see it happening. Especially, and this isn't just a reaction off the walls. I mean, we look back on Southampton, look back on Palace, look back on even Brentford, where we won. We've got so many games here where we really haven't deserved anything. Leicester, another one. We haven't really played well since Arsenal, and we didn't even win that game. So I think in terms of going forward and for the rest of the season, I must admit it is a bit of a concern, because we aren't playing very well at all, and we haven't got the depth to back it up or change it up with, because they're all out on loan, as we mentioned before. Yeah. So I don't really know. I think we need to either start recalling or spending a bit in January, because with this current squad we've got and the current way we're playing, we will slip down. We will slip down, because we can't keep getting away with 1-1 from 95th minute equalisers. No. It's not going to happen. Yeah. As we saw against Wolves. So
that's the worrying thing. It's like the last 3 or 4 weeks we've just been relying on like these last minute equalisers, and it's like why are we, like, I think we have to look at it. It's like, why are we in that position? Why are we 1-0 down going into the 94th minute? Like, we've just not been playing well, like, defensively, whatever it might be. And it's just like, and also as well, just going back to the spending thing as well, Ryan. I saw a really good a good infographic where it was like the Premier League owners and how much they've invested into their clubs. And Brighton were 4th, I believe. I think Tony Bloom's invested like 330 million of his own money, which is just mental. Like, so it's definitely not a lack of, like, I saw a few Blooms out a couple of weeks
back.
Oh, that's
like, stupid.
I mean, come on, like the amount of money and time and effort he's invested into this club.
Our trouble's not Bloom.
You can't even argue with that.
Our trouble's not Bloom. Our trouble is what we're doing with the money. So our trouble is we're not actually being able to attract the right players, because clearly, I mean, we could look back on Nunez, we look back on Gonzalez. We can't attract these players to come and get that over the line. So we're looking to spend 30 million plus on these players. But so it's not, the problem's not Bloom's investment. Our problem is we actually just aren't a very big club to be able to get these players.
Our position in the Premier League, where we finished the past few seasons, that's obviously what they're looking at.
Yeah, they're not going to want to, are they?
If you negotiated with them when we were high and flying in like October or whatever, then they probably would have been more inclined to sign. But you can't blame the players for not really wanting to come to a relegation threatened club every season.
One thing I will give him credit for, though, or the recruitment department, is like the ones for the future. So, like, as we know, they've made some unbelievable youth signings. Like the ones we've seen coming through, that will be coming through. Even like the extensions to Turns and Leonard, and the Roberts.
Turns and Leonard are great signings, by the way. I'm really happy with that.
Exactly. The way we're building for the future is amazing. However, one thing I will say is, like, what about now? What about the now? The right now? That's what we need.
But
like
that 300 million, though, Maz, was that signings or just investment?
No, investment in investing in the club.
Yeah. So obviously you've got the training ground and all that shit.
Yeah.
So I think the point would be actually like putting that money I know he's obviously spent that in a majority of it in stadium and training ground, but finally putting some big money in the transfers and getting those big transfers done. That's the next step for this club, because I think we've got everything else pretty much sorted. It's now just getting the bigger signings in.
Yeah, we've got everything in place. It's just getting that. I think rather than focusing on the future, because I feel like as the recruitment strategy right now is just all about future. Oh, we need to sign the youth. Like the next wonder kid. Blah blah blah. But it's like, what about now? What about the right now? Like, what about getting a striker in today and having him?
I think the trouble is because we've got that philosophy now. Like, it's not going to change. So we're just going to have to accept that for the next 2 or 3 years, we are going to be in and around this sort of area. We're not going to dramatically improve until 5 years' time when these players are ready to break through, when Ed Turns is starting in the Premier League, and he's only 18, 17 now, so we're looking at another 5 years down the line before he even gets a sniff. So it is a hard one to accept, really, but it's the way the club have set up their philosophy, I suppose.
Yeah, no, and look, and I don't think I'm not mad at it. Like, I like the fact that we're sort of building for the future, and we're making sure that in 5 years' time we have got a squad and we have got a team that will compete at the highest level, which is good. But then the frustration I think lies is like, what about the now? But like you said, Ryan, it's one of those things. So moving on then, boys. To what was the other thing? I was going to mention something.
Yeah, you wanted to talk about missing players and
that's it.
Bias.
Yeah. So I don't know if you boys have just seen. Well, the breaking news. I don't know if you boys have just seen. Spurs have had another game cancelled.
Really?
So for this weekend, their game's just been cancelled. So I think that's
how are they getting away with this?
Well, so Ryan, it's very.
I'm happy you bring this up. The Leicester and Tottenham one tonight.
Oh, sorry, tonight. Yeah, sorry, tonight's one. Sorry, yeah. Leicester Spurs tonight has been called off. So, look, I just don't get it. I'm so baffled by this top 6 bias. I just don't get it. Why? So, for example, Man United got their game cancelled. Spurs got their game cancelled against us. But Potter came out yesterday and he said, we asked the Premier League to have our game postponed against Wolves, but they said no. Why? Why are we any different to any other Big 6 clubs? Why do they get
all the Wolves fans were sympathetic as well? Like when we were posting it throughout the day yesterday, they were sympathetic. They were like, "Yeah, this should definitely be called off this game." It is such a piss take.
But it's like
we had 14 players out. We had 14 players out, and everyone was saying because I saw it on Twitter, and people were like, "Oh, Brighton had a full team out. Brighton had a full team out." I was like, yeah, but we don't have anyone else. So if any of these players gets injured, we're done. We're actually done. Like, we've got to fill our 23.
We had 3 senior players on the bench yesterday, didn't we? How many were allowed now?
So I don't get it.
But I heard that as well, Ryan. What's it called? Josh, our good old friend Leeds Josh, who by the way, their team lost 7-0. Yeah, but by the way,
7. Josh, if you're watching, mate, 7-0. 7-0, and you want to keep coming at me as well.
Yeah, exactly, mate. He kept coming at, he was coming at me as well, and he was like, "Oh yeah, that's your starting 11." I was like, "No, it's not." I was like, "It's just not though, is it? It's just not though, is it?" You clearly don't watch Brighton enough, because he saw like Sanchez, Cucurella, Lamptey, and maybe like Moda.
It's a good job we've got them 3, by the way.
Yeah, I was like, okay, fair play. Like, there's a 3 or 4 starting 11 in there, but we're missing Dunk, we're missing Webster, we're missing Mopé, we're missing,
massive players.
Key players to how we play and how we defend, etc. So I'm not having all this like, oh yeah, you had a full team. But anyway, back to the Premier League.
No Pascal, no Partey as well.
Yeah, no Pascal. But Premier League, you're a shambles. Stop preferring Big 6 clubs, you mugs, and give us a bit of, give us a bit of.
Well, saying that though, Maz, right? I'm gonna play devil's advocate like you like to do. How about Watford Brentford? Because that got cancelled.
That did, to be fair. Yeah, you are right.
But actually, I'm gonna go jump on that defensive as well and say, well, they've got money, ain't they? So plus they're pretty favoured around Brentford. Everyone loves Brentford, don't they?
But I feel like that was like their what's it
media
called?
Darlings.
Their one game where they're like. The one game, right, lads, let's give the one game to these little shitty clubs, not shitty clubs, but clubs. and then all the big boys, you lot can have whenever you want off. We got to look like we're actually helping the others. I think that's
United's going to get cancelled. Let's be honest. United's going to get cancelled on Saturday.
Well, I hope it does because we got Basuma out. But I'm concerned that the Premier League will have to shut down soon. Like it doesn't look great, does it?
It's not looking good, is it? Yeah. It's not looking good. I'm not going to lie to you. The amount of cases in COVID, like the COVID cases around all the football clubs, is spiking.
I want to get to Chelsea away, and then just after that, get rid of it.
Oh yeah, we're going Chelsea away, aren't we? Yeah. Yeah, you can lock up after that. But like
I'm
you
not
said,
going anywhere,
Brian,
boys.
Yeah, you're not.
it's very reminiscent. It's very reminiscent to early, like just was it February 2020 when it first all came about. It's very reminiscent of that, isn't it?
It all feels
like
so
that
similar.
again.
Yeah, it does. I can't lie.
So,
and I think as well, I think because I've got it now, it's a bit like I've sort of realised, okay,
real.
right, it is catchable, sort of thing. Yeah, because I've been everywhere, to be fair. So I've probably been due this. I've been to Liverpool, Southampton, Nottingham, you name it. I've been there, really. And I think I've probably been due this, to be honest. And I think I got it from London, weirdly. So everywhere I've been, I got it from London, where I've probably been the most. But I don't know. I'm not. Luckily, I'm all right, really. But I think, for people that could be more vulnerable, it's not a great 100%. Time at the minute.
This is the most. This is the most I've ever. Well, the most amount of people I've known to actually have it at once.
Same.
People that actually have got it.
Yeah. So my both of my sisters have got it, and my brother-in-law. And then who else?
Really?
One other person. Jeez. Yeah, someone else. So like you said, it's
very close to home.
I had it last year. But like no one really at the time had it. Like,
it was quite rare, wasn't it, to have it?
Yeah, they're like, "Man, what's it like? What's it like?" Like, oh my god, this is so like it's like a novelty. But then now it's like, oh, everyone's got it. Like, so everyone's going through it. So it's pretty.
But it's weird because everyone gets such weird symptoms. Like, I'm pretty sure I've got Omicron. Like, I'm very sure I've got Omicron because I've got all the symptoms of Omicron, but I've got nothing of Delta. So I've got like the tiredness and all that sort of thing. But Delta's like you lose taste and you like the original symptoms. I don't have any of them.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I find it really strange because I haven't been told I've got Omicron, but my family is still allowed to go out. They're not isolating. Like no one's isolating. Chloe's allowed to go out even though she's been with me for the last 6 days.
Oh really?
I don't get that. Yeah. So she's gone home.
Mad.
She's gone back up. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't quite understand.
Did you see
really
KSI's tweet the other day? He was like, I'm never getting COVID. And then the day after, quote tweets it with a picture saying, for fuck's sake, we've got COVID.
I think I did one and it was... I did one. Someone, I think it was Alec from Brighton Twitter, put it on his private account. And it was like Boris Johnson to address the nation at 8 p.m. So I was like, Chloe down for Christmas, shoo. And like, we're going to have a bit like, just do some fun stuff, go around. And then I put Merry Christmas. And obviously the COVID positive. And so it was like, life comes at you fast. But pretty good.
Yeah.
Funny though,
mad thing. Funny though, isn't it? And then final one
is what it is.
We'll just discuss, I suppose, was what one we saw on socials. It was the attendance at Brighton apparently officially they announced. I think they've done in Arsenal. They announced that there was 30,000 fans in the stadium yesterday. I think it's fair to say. I think it was slightly less than that.
They always do that, don't they?
It's embarrassing that they do that.
I don't understand that though. There's definitely not 30,000.
I mean, they've done it for God knows how long, haven't they?
Yeah, I'm not having that. I don't think.
Absolutely not.
No chance. There's about 10,000 there, 15,000 there, but they've done that for absolutely years, haven't they? Since
playing
the
devil's
Championship
advocate,
they used to do it. Go on,
playing devil's advocate.
We love playing devil's advocate.
Yeah. I think, to be fair to some of the people that didn't go, I think it would be like because they're scared of COVID. Yeah. And then the rest of it is obviously just, which is really poor to say, some people just can't be asked to go on a Wednesday night.
That's bad. I get the fear of COVID thing again now, if I'm honest.
They have it. Like you had it, you couldn't go, Ryan.
My dad didn't go. My dad didn't go because he didn't want to be, one, selfish because I've got it, and two, because like it is pretty easy to catch now. So just a bit.
My mate sent me a picture of the queues to get in as well. Apparently, it was horrendous. Like it was the longest queue just to get into the North Stand. Yeah, it was like the train station bit.
Yeah, because I saw a few people moaning as well. Apparently that they weren't doing the transfer tickets or something. Is that right? They weren't allowing people in with transfer tickets. Or I saw someone moaning about it on Twitter. Though,
really?
Like, basically
the transfer ticket thing's an absolute calamity in it. It's such a mess.
That's what affects our attendance so much. Like back in the day, you used to be able to give away your ticket, and then you'd always have a pretty much full stadium because someone that wanted to go would go.
Yeah, I had two empty seats yesterday.
They make it so difficult to share your ticket now. You have to give someone 20 quid to even just share it for one ticket.
Like, I could have given that to anyone. I could have given that to you two boys, and you could have gone in my season ticket if you wanted to. But I can't because I'd have to pay I don't even know how much it is.
Yeah, 20,
so it's just what's the point? Yeah, why am I going to spend that? And then you got to spend another 20 quid to get it.
Sorry. I think that's what it is. I think that's what people are moaning about. Yeah, because you have to pay to transfer it or whatever. Yeah.
It's only one payment, but still, they've paid X amount of money for their season ticket. They should be able to give it to whoever they want. That
Yeah.
should be-
Oh, 100%.
Well,
100%. You
within
pay,
reason.
Yeah,
Obviously, they've got some
Oh,
dodgy
no,
guy
yeah,
coming.
of course.
It's literally
But-
your seat, so why should you
Yeah,
have to
yeah.
pay to then pay the club again to give it
Yeah.
someone else?
I get the I get the security point of it. Like you want to, and one, you want to get as many Brighton fans in as possible. You don't want to just get like random Man United, Liverpool fans in. I get that bit, but then at the same time, surely you'd rather have those 2 seats taken than an empty ground.
Yeah, it's stopping other people going. Like,
Yeah.
you might say you don't want people that aren't Brighton fans going, but then again, you'd rather have, like you just said, Ryan, you'd rather have 2 fans there that are interested in going rather than 2 empty seats.
You'd think so.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
100.
It makes no sense to me. It's stupid.
And then
There's just no
and then
there's no
final one was-
consideration for the fans in that. It's literally just money in it. That's all it is.
Yeah.
That's just money spinner.
Oh, of course.
But anyway.
Yeah, that's all they care about. It's a bit like the bloody booster jabs and all that. Oh, you got to get 15 extra booster jabs, and then that should sort you out.
Suck your mum, Boris. You batty boy.
Yeah, suck him up. Right, anyway,
Sorry.
right, final one, boys.
Can you
if
even
the
leave
game
that in?
does
I
go
don't think
ahead,
that's allowed.
if the game does go ahead on Saturday, we have got Man United, but it's looking very, very likely that it will get cancelled
United.
because I know. Yeah, because it's Man
Can't
United,
see it,
basically.
yeah.
But yeah, so we'll do a preview anyway, just in case. So we've obviously got we got Duffy back, but Basuma out. And then I believe, is there anyone else coming back from fitness or not?
We're not allowed anything
Vetman
good
pulled
without
up,
having
didn't he?
pain. Like we're not allowed
Yeah.
happiness without pain. It's so annoying.
Yeah, literally. When it rains, it pours, as Graham Potter said yesterday.
It really does.
But you see, Veltman pulled up, so I don't even know if he's going to be playing in like the
Oh, yeah,
101st
Veltman's
minute
good.
or wherever we got to. We did.
Yeah, Veltman's a doubt.
We didn't even speak about the referees, the Hawkeye problems, but yeah, we
That
don't.
was a doubt.
mate, yeah.
What a shock. We
That
got another
was
one
so-
out.
That was out. So it was.
Yeah. Right. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry. I'll cut out then. I did.
Yeah, well, it just was. Yeah. Dan Burn sent it back with
Right,
Roberts and it turns maybe that'll be quite good.
Oh,
All
hang
marking
on.
Cristiano
Talking about Man United and Brighton. There's news that's just come out in the last hour, and it says Man United have broken up with Anthony Martial, and he wants away immediately on loan or straight out. Would you take Anthony Martial at Brighton or not?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah. I mean, look, I don't really rate him, but yeah, of course.
He's not going
like,
to come in, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Of course he would.
I don't know. Who never would come. But no, 100%. I'll take him all day long. But yeah, I think it's one of those sort of scenarios that will never ever happen. So thanks
not
for bringing that
gonna
up, Ryan, making us feel good. Cheers, Ryan.
It's the striker in it.
This is what
Honestly,
you could have won. This is what you could have won, but you're not going to win it.
You're not going to get it. I'm just saying. This is what
sorry,
you
going
could
back
have. You're not
to
gonna get it.
going back to the actual game. It's good that Duffy's back because last time he obviously came up against Ronaldo, he had him in his back pocket, didn't he? Was it Ireland
Yeah.
versus Portugal?
For Ireland,
So
Portugal.
hopefully Shane Duffy can do the same, and we can actually.
He's in Ronaldo's head, mate. He's
Yeah,
in
he is.
Ronaldo's head.
He is,
Yeah.
went free.
I mean, if
I'm not. Yeah, I'm really not confident. No Basuma, mate. That's going to be a big problem in that midfield. I know their midfield gets a lot of stick anyway, but Basuma is a miss. It's just such a
Yeah,
big
but
miss.
against like if Pogba's on his day and all that, if you've got against a team that's going to be so
McFred.
good. Yeah, and then Rangnick's now in charge. Yeah, I do worry if we do go ahead against
thing is,
them.
Basuma though, Basuma is a big miss because I feel like that midfield, we were poor as it was, that midfield against Wolves. Like I said, there was no cohesion, no nothing. And take Basuma out of that, I do worry. It's like
It's even
who
worse.
comes in? Yeah. Because Moda was poor and Wepu was poor. Like who comes in to replace Basuma? We don't have a natural Basuma replacement, as we knew when he was out for X, Y,
Caicedo,
how many?
really. But he's on
even
loan.
then,
He's in
of course
Belgium.
he's on loan,
loan.
yeah, exactly, yeah. It's like we don't have any. I don't know who we're going to field. Like, who's actually going to play on Saturday if we play? Who's actually going to play there? Like,
I reckon. No, I don't even know.
this is
Who's
this
even
is
in our youth team that could do that? I don't know.
Beluto.
Will
Not-
Mope
not
be
to
back?
Basuma's level, really.
Will Mope be back?
he's
I think
got
Belushi's
COVID.
back.
if he's
I
got
know
Yeah,
he's
COVID,
got
COVID,
COVID, but like,
so-
how long? Yeah, but how long? We don't know how long he's got.
Well, he
had
probably
it for when
tested
he's back.
positive. I tested positive on Monday, and I'm done till Tuesday. So if he tested positive any time during this week, he can't play. So
yeah.
We don't
Yeah.
know. It was a bit before that, though, wasn't it? When all the rumours about Mope came.
No,
out.
there's no. Yeah, he'll be out. 100%.
Can I just say, by the way, on the
There's
COVID thing, I tested negative for 5 days. 5 days tested negative. That's so weird, isn't it? And the following morning, I just tested positive, and I was actually feeling all right. Like I had a little sore throat, it went, and I tested positive. It was so weird, isn't it?
I think it's very rapid, like a
Sorry.
very rapid. what do you call it? Rapid development of a
Yeah.
virus. So you can literally get it within like.
So you can
could
tell
be,
I
like,
haven't spoke
negative
to anyone
the
in
morning.
days, can't you?
This is like your salvation. Right, let's wrap up the Man United preview, because I know basically we're not going to have a team to field, but I would love to see Roberts start against Man United. I would really like to see that.
If he gets again,
and give him a
Get Evan Ferguson.
Get him out there. Yeah, get
Evan
Ferguson,
Ferguson.
get
to body
Leonard in
Harry
there.
Maguire. Get Ferguson.
Yeah.
Leonard in there, put him in.
Get Ferguson up top.
Do you know what, actually? Leonard would be class in midfield for us, because do you remember, actually, Ben, we went to Swansea, didn't we? Do you remember how good Leonard was? He was all over the place. He was throwing him crunching challenges against like decent opposition. Get him in against Man United, I don't care. What have we got to lose now? I mean, we weren't very good against Wolves, and it's not like anyone's going to really fill Basuma's boots anyway. Just give it Leonard, see how he does. I mean,
Give it Leonard to the end of the season.
Yeah,
give it Leonard to the end of the season, I reckon.
Yeah.
Mark Leonard, this is your time, mate. This is your time. Step up.
Right, if the game goes ahead, Ryan, score predictions, please, sir.
I don't know. I don't want to be really negative, but it's probably going to be like 2 or 3-0 to Man United, isn't it? Really, if we're being honest.
Can't see a score.
Yeah.
Okay. But I think they've still got Lindelof out. I know he's pretty decent. I don't know. I really can't see us scoring unless we get a penalty. There's no real chance of scoring.
Probably miss that as well.
It's gonna be. Yeah, it's gonna. I'm not confident at all. I've got to watch it with my brother and my dad, who are both Man United fans, which will be fun.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
I don't know.
I've got to watch it on my own.
Two or 3-0
it
maybe. Yeah, I'll probably run upstairs and watch it on my own, actually. In that case, but no, I don't know. 2 or 3-0, Maz. What about you?
Yeah, unfortunately, it's a clean sweep, boys. 2-0 for me. I don't want to be negative, but we've got barely any players. We're not playing.
Although 12:30 kickoffs always throw up a surprise, so
you never know.
Will that benefit us?
Yeah. Thing is, look, the way I see it is, if he plays some of the young boys, it's like they'll go out there with, well, obviously, it's, the pressure of playing Man United, but like in terms of pressure of performance, it's like, well, got nothing to lose, so let's just go out there and play with freedom. So hopefully that can actually work in our favour. Like, I'm just thinking about the positives here, and I would love to see some of the young boys get a run out against Man United. Imagine that, your debut being against Man United. Like, imagine like the euphoria and the way you just want to go out there and play like like a little kid. Like, it would just be I think it would be good. It would be lovely to see, but whether it happens, I don't know.
I just really want a proper striker presence up front. I'm fed up of having these I'm fed up of having. I mean,
honestly, if I see Lecadie and Connolly on the pitch ever again, I'm
Lecadie wasn't even involved, was he? And then he posted the picture of him in. Is he? All right.
I think he's got COVID.
Yeah. I don't know, maybe. But Naylor was like, sums up Lecadie's position in the squad. If he's not even in the team, if he's not even in the squad against.
I don't. Actually, while we're on that one, Alexis McAllister. He wasn't in the squad, was he? I mean, he got on in the last 20 minutes or so.
And he was in a proper deeper role, wasn't he, as well? I thought he would come on and be like more advanced, but honestly,
I would have put him in over Moda or Mwepu, to be honest, based on yesterday's performances. I don't get what I mean. To be honest, he wasn't very good when he come on, but I mean, he's not really been given many chances, has he? I thought now would be the chance that Alexis McAllister takes, really. I'm really surprised to not see him in the 11. I know realistically none of the players that McAllister would overtake are out, but equally Moda's not exactly been great, and he can play a little bit more advanced, create something. I don't know. I just would have liked to see Alexis in there, to be honest.
Yeah, no. I think I would love to see him. Like you said, yes. I think you said, Brian, yesterday. It's like, why didn't he start? Like, if we got so many players missing, why didn't he start?
And he brought on Richards first before he even bringing Alexis on, which was
actually Richards was alright when he come on.
Yeah, he went.
Richards. I like Richards. I like the look of Richards. Yeah. I really like it. Final thing, just going back to Lecadie, bit of inside. I'm going to show you boys the video after, but I can't show it on the podcast just for legal reasons if I get sued or something. But I basically got confirmation that his head is not in the football anymore. He's not concentrating on football. He does not want to play football. So yeah. Anyway, I'll leave you on that bombshell.
Source Lecadie.
Make of that what you will.
Yeah, make of that what you will. But I just know, like, his head's not in the game anymore, and we need a striker. Simple as that. Right, boys. comments down below. We're going to have hashtag Chloe out because
Hashtag
we need
Chloe
a
out,
win. Yeah, we need a league win.
Sorry,
we need
Chloe.
a league
You're
win.
not even going to
so
watch this
hashtag
anyway,
Chloe
so
out.
it's all right.
Ryan, can you just publicly
Yeah,
say you've broken up and then just obviously secretly just still be with her? Maybe that'll help.
That's a shout, you know. That's a shout.
That's a shout, you know.
That's how down in the dumps we are. Ryan's actually going,
seriously
you know what? That actually might work.
That might work, yeah.
It might be all right.
Right, as per usual, please do like, comment and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. We do really appreciate all your support. And of course, keep streaming it on Apple and Spotify as per usual. And we will be back, hopefully, on Monday if Man United goes ahead. However, if it doesn't, we might...
And I'll still be
prolong it.
isolating. Yeah.
Ryan will still be isolating.
Just one message I want to say. Marcel, you're a cheat. Hope Wolves get relegated. Scumbag he was. He made my blood boil yesterday. He ran into Veltman and went down holding his face. He went down holding his face again.
Down a lot.
March didn't even touch
he did,
him.
to be fair.
Disgraceful
Yeah, he did.
fucking footballer you are, you prick.
Disgrace.
Fucking
Right, on that note, peace out, A-Town down, and we might see you next week. In a bit.